Hello and welcome to the 5th match of the March Madness tournament series. Today, Boros tokens will be facing Naya midrange. We will be playing out the Naya side, while Yurtle will be on Boros. In game 1 we mulligan a borderline opening hand and keep a second hand, which is pretty good as we lead with our tri-land. Opponent plays a mountain and passes a turn, and here we play out our Elvish Visionary, which draws us into an Ogre Battle Driver, and we pass a turn. Opponent plays a Plains into Young Pyromancer, which generates a 1/1 token whenever he plays an instant or sorcery, and here we decide to play out the Guildgate as well as the Elvish Visionary, so next turn we can play out the Ogre Battle Driver. The Visionary draws us into an Inferno Titan, which is a great card in a matchup, being able to take out several tokens at once. We get in for 1 with the Elvish Visionary, and a shock takes out our second Visionary and allows our opponent to get in for 2 damage, as well as generating an elemental token, and a Krankos command makes another elemental token, as well as 2 goblin tokens. So now we play out the Ogre Battle Driver, but decide to stay on defense with the Elvish Visionary. Opponent goes for an all-in attack except for the Young Pyromancer. We decide to block one of the tokens, but don't block with the Ogre Battle Driver because a shock could kill it. And the opponent plays another Krankos command, generating 3 tokens in total. And here we decide to play out the Jungle Shrine, so next turn we can finally play out the Inferno Titan, but we do play out our Wild Nacatl but stay on defense, since a Trumpet Blast, for example, could be very problematic for us. Opponent plays a shock end of turn, taking out the Wild Nacatl, generating another token. And here our opponent goes for an all-in attack except for the Young Pyromancer again, and this time around we do decide to block, since now our opponent already played 2 shocks, and we take a lot of damage, dropping down to 9 life as we top deck an Anger of the Gods, but we can simply play out Inferno Titan. It gets haste thanks to the Battle Driver, so it can activate once again, taking out 6 creatures in total, leaving the opponent with only 1 token and attacking for 8 damage. And now the opponent has 1 token left, does not attack, and now we can easily take out the opponent by playing an Arbor Colossus and attacking with everyone. Inferno Titan taking care of the only blocker. So Naya midrange is up 1-0 over Boros tokens. In game 2 we keep our opening hand, which is pretty good, as we lead with a mountain. The opponent plays a Guildgate and passes a turn. Here we can play an Elvish Visionary to draw a card, another Forest, and opponent plays a Krankos command, making 2 goblin tokens. And here we decide to play out our Cultivate, grabbing 1 of each and passing the turn, so next turn we can play our Woolly Thoctor. And the opponent plays a Goblin Rabblemaster, which is very scary now with all these goblins in play. We decide to take out one of the goblins with our Visionary, take 2 down to 18, and play the Woolly Thoctor, which we will gladly trade with the Goblin Rabblemaster should it attack. And now the opponent plays a Mantra of the Meek, which combos very nicely with Rabblemaster, making a token and drawing a card for 1 mana, and we trade away the Thoctor with the Rabblemaster, still taking 3 from the additional tokens, and we pass the turn after playing a land. And now the opponent plays another Rabblemaster, drawing a card with the Mentor and drawing another card once he gets the Goblin token, attacks with everyone, so we take 4 down to 11. And here we can stabilize with our first Pelakka Worm, gaining 7 life as we pass the turn, but the opponent still keeps generating card advantage thanks to the Mantra of the Meek plus Goblin Rabblemaster. We can block a token but still take some damage down to 14, and the opponent plays a Brimaz. And here we decide to keep it on defense, so we just play a second Pelakka Worm, gain some life and pass a turn. And now the opponent will generate some more tokens with the Rabblemaster, draw another card with the Mentor and attack with all the 1/1s that have to attack. So we can take out 2 tokens but still take some damage down to 18. And another token generator will draw 2 more cards with the Mentor. Opponent has to discard because he has too many cards in his hand, as we play an Elvish Visionary to hope to hit an Anger of the Gods, but we hit a Soul of Zendikar instead. And now we decide to attack with 1 worm to start getting in some damage. And we pass the turn. The opponent plays another land and has probably enough cards in his hand to kill us. Plays a Krankos command to make 2 more tokens, but does not draw the full amount of cards, which probably means a Bushwhacker is incoming. Another Raise the Alarm puts 2 more tokens in play, and there's the Goblin Bushwhacker giving all the tokens and creatures +1 in haste, and a shock to clear a blocker, and an attack here will be more than enough to kill us on the spot. So Boros tokens takes game 2 over Naya Midrange, and everything will be decided in this third and final game. The winner will advance to the next round, while the loser will be eliminated from the tournament. The third game starts off with a mulligan into another mulligan into a 6-card hand with 1 land, but the opponent drops to 6 cards as well and leads with a mountain. We play Guildgate and draw our second land, which makes our Elvish Visionaries available, and the opponent plays a Young Pyromancer. Passes the turn, we play our Visionary and draw a second Garruk's Pack Leader, which is not really what we want here, we just want more lands. Opponent plays a Guildgate and a second Young Pyromancer and passes a turn, and here's our third land, which is great, and the Visionary draws us into a Plains, so now our mana base is perfect as we pass a turn. Opponent does not attack and passes a turn as well, and we decide to play out the Ogre Battle Driver, although we did draw an Anger of the Gods, but we want to tempt the opponent into overextending a bit here, as he plays a Raise the Alarm, generating 4 tokens total thanks to the Young Pyromancers, and does not attack quite yet. We play a Guildgate here and pass a turn, not pulling the trigger yet on the Anger of the Gods, which may have been a big mistake here, as the opponent plays another Raise the Alarm, making 4 tokens total, and a Trumpet Blast, for example, could kill us, but the Pyromancers not attacking is a clear indication that the opponent does not have a Trumpet Blast, so we decide to block as much as possible. Another Krenko's Command makes 4 tokens total, and now Anger of the Gods can finally take care of all those creatures, and we pass the turn. Opponent has 4 cards left, and that's an Mentor of the Meek, which will be able to get him some card advantage going, but we do as well with this Garruk's Pack Leader, and a Ogre Battle Driver from the opponent does not trigger the Mentor, and now we drew some more removal, but we decide to simply play another Garruk's Pack Leader, looking for another land so we can play the Inferno Titan, but we just draw another Anger of the Gods, which is the best card in the matchup. A second Mentor will draw a card and get haste thanks to the Battle Driver. We just take it down to 11 we go, and now we can just play the Anger of the Gods. Both of our pack leaders will survive, and the opponent's board will be cleared once again as we attack for 8, opponent dropping to 12 life. We pause the turn, and a Young Pyromancer will not be enough here to save the opponent as we draw our final land to play the Inferno Titan, which will be able to kill the Young Pyromancer and ping the opponent for 2 damage. Also drawing 2 cards with the Garruk's Pack Leader, but a God's Willing is going to protect the Young Pyromancer from the Inferno Titan, giving it protection from red, but we can still attack with both pack leaders. Opponent drops to 2 life and plays a Phantom General, pumping the token. A desperate attack here as we block the Young Pyromancer, take 2 down to 9. Shock takes out the opponent in a very classy way. So Boros Tokens is defeated by Naya Midrange 2 games to 1. So Naya Midrange will advance to the next round. I wanna thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a nice day.